Agenda West Side Bill.
It wouldn't be the holiday weekend without Shane being upset. Guys, welcome to another installment of Into the West Comics. A very special, 4th of July Eve, an early episode. We get you guys early because we know you're going to be wanting to like blow your fingers off and eat hot dogs and all the other stuff that you'd be doing on the 4th of July, playing outside in the heat, boiling your brains.
Right.
Welcome in. Uncle Nephew Shane is here.
All right. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Tomorrow. Right. Happy 4th.
The true patriot.
Good morning.
And this is a rare occasion, Shane. This is a rare occasion. We usually have this guy about 30 minutes after we show up. Filling that role tonight is Paul, but we have a special guest, I guess you'd say, because he's here early when we're starting right at the normal time. Please welcome Brother Marcus.
Hey. Happy Independence Day, everyone.
Happy Independence Day.
In 30 minutes, he'll just be regular Marcus. Like, no big deal.
Right.
Right now, he's special guest Marcus because he's early.
Guys, I want to get into the show that the show you love to hate, or that you love to love. I don't know, Shane, how you're feeling about this.
Yeah.
Last night we got our 6th episode.
Is it 6 already?
6. Only 2 episodes left. 6th episode of The Acolyte. I wanted to get your thoughts.
2 episodes left.
How are you? What do you think about this show? Is it on an upward trajectory since we had our power of one, power of two, power of many, or are we just kind of flatlined?
Well, let's just say we might just be at a steady course to the end until it just goes directly off the cliff.
Off the cliff.
Bruh, the show was not good. It wasn't good. This last episode wasn't good. I just think the sister aspect of the show really wears me down. That whole thing wears me down, and the back and forth, and nobody knowing who's who, and the trick being played on various cast members about who's who.
Very it's a space Parent Trap.
Yeah,
type of thing.
Pretty much. Yeah,
Wait a
it's
minute.
Space Parent Trap.
You're not your sister. You're with me. Wait a minute.
I mean, it's still just kind of boring. It's boring. Last episode was good because so many people were killed off. It seems like
episode 5. You enjoyed that because a lot of people died.
A lot of people were killed off. Yeah. Let's be honest here. That was probably the best thing they could do. With
that seemed like that was the highlight of the whole thing.
A lot of people enjoyed that,
right? Because all I saw trending was just all the the highlights, the clips of the saber
those
fights.
Things. That was all right.
Yeah,
but this episode, I'm just like. Like Marcus said he what did you say, you fell falling asleep the first episode you watched?
I tried 3 times. So just like with comics, if
episodes are only 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I know.
If I try
cold.
3, if I try 3 times, if I start an issue or if I start a show and I fall asleep 3 times,
the third time's a charm.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Because I mean, first time, okay, maybe I was tired. Okay,
yeah,
on me, right?
Marcus is wide awake.
Yeah. Second time,
he nods off. It's 3 in the afternoon.
Second time, okay, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Maybe this is a little dull, and then whatever, or I get distracted, something else, in the house or whatever happens, But third time, if I'm falling asleep the third time, then okay, I can't really excuse that anymore.
It wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't meant to be. So luckily, everyone's been very vocal, both for and against.
Yeah.
So, and then by seeing some of the highlights, I've been able to kind of piece together what's going on. And some people were actually saying that was like the best saber fight they had ever seen. And I was like, what? Because I watched it and I'm like, really?
I thought it was a good action sequence for that episode.
Yeah, it looked good. It looked good.
It was a fine action sequence for that episode. Yes.
Right. But
the best saber fight we've ever seen, no. But it was.
I'm not saying that.
It was very good for what they've put together so far.
It was peak for that for this show. It was like peak moments for this show.
And so based on just seeing what I've observed, and then actually seeing some of those sequences being shared, I'm like, okay, that was a good fight scene. But I mean, what about all the other stuff? Do we necessarily, is that what we're building to? That action, that everyone getting killed off? What are we building to?
Right.
What's the end game?
The total runtime of the episode, I think, was about 37, 38 minutes. But there's probably 8 or 9 minutes that are recapping the season and then the previous episode and everything else. So all of these episodes are like half an hour.
Yeah, there's strong 30 minutes on.
We were talking to Timmy, the friend of the show, Timmy. He's traveling the world right now. I think he's in New Mexico, cooking meth and slinging Chick-fil-A. Okay. He's hustling over there, throwing chicken. Hi, Timmy. Actually, Timmy might be in town to watch Deadpool with us. He might be in town visiting family, so he might come see Deadpool with us. But he was saying how the show... He's like, I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to give up. I said, it's, it might be something that's bingeable. It might play better.
Right. If you just watch it in succession
and watch it in like one viewing, because I said it's got a lot of ups and downs. I said it's mostly downs, but it's got a lot of ups and downs. And this episode, I don't know if you felt the same way, and we'll ask Paul once he gets here eventually. That it felt very much like a filler episode that wasn't needed. And we have like this episode kind of out of place, and then we had the flashback episode, which felt like it was kind of out of place. They could have flip-flopped the two or something. I don't know, you flip-flop this episode with that, but I mean, it just didn't really, the show hasn't really worked. And I'm not going to say that it's completely terrible. It is bottom tier for Star Wars, the live action shows for Star Wars.
And so listen, we got 2 more episodes to go.
There's 2 episodes left, and they just kind of the episode felt like it felt like a tease, Marcus. The whole episode felt like they were teasing something. They're like, so if you're not a Jedi, then what are you?
Right.
So like if you're not your sister, then let me tell you the story about. Bro, you've had like 5 episodes to tell us
to do this.
What happened exactly. It's like, let me tell you what happened 16 years ago. Like, you really have to keep doing this again? Are you going to do something like that next week? And then finally tell us in the last 5 minutes of the last episode.
Okay.
Is that what we're getting?
I think that's what we're getting.
So based on what you're saying, it almost sounds like the Moon Knight first season. A lot of things that could have been maybe covered in 2 or 3 episodes were
love
stretched.
the Moon Knight's first. I love that first episode.
Yeah,
it
was great. And then it was just like they just kind of strung you along until the last episode where you actually had some action and you saw some stuff going on. But by then it's like, well, why? What was between episode 2 and episode 5 or whatever?
What was happening?
What did we actually need from that? What did we actually need? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the thing about this. The difference between this show and Moon Knight is I didn't feel the same way about the first episode of Acolyte as I did with Moon Knight. I was really like the rest of us were looking forward to just a solid. It gave you a solid foundation.
Right.
The first episode of Moon Knight, where this actually did not. But that's because the acting was so terrible, and it remains bad for the most part. It's bad. It's a bad script and bad acting all over the place.
Right.
But with that said, like Frank said, it just seems to be disjointed. That's the biggest problem with this show, is that it's disjointed.
Right.
Well, the biggest problem is the acting. But then second problem is it's disjointed, the whole thing, really.
Right.
I just wish they were able to tell a more concise story.
Yeah.
That's all.
It sounds like
get into and get behind somebody. Get behind May or May or what's her name? What's the other one? What's the two names? OSHA. You can get behind OSHA.
It sounds like it's lacking maybe a little prep.
Yeah.
A little more character build up.
Yes.
So we can actually
a cohesive character build.
Right. So we can actually feel like we're connecting with these characters before they, get chopped up. And
I didn't know you had only seen the first episode and then you nodded off.
Yeah.
When it's over, do you think you might go watch it?
It's interesting he mentioned the bingeable
we go, man,
aspect.
Marcus,
yes,
it was so great finale. Wow.
You think we're gonna?
Well, I mean, it might slap better if it is bingeable. Like if you can watch it and it might be better. I don't know. I'm just coming from a position of optimism, but with that specific comment,
Frank.
But
I'm trying.
This thing started.
I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of more looking towards. I'm thinking hopefully Andor season 2 will save it.
Yes.
In terms of Star Wars, I'm just talking Star Wars.
Yeah,
they're working away on that.
Yeah. So I mean, Andor season 2, and then hopefully, I don't know, some of the animated stuff. We'll kind of salvage it a little bit. But I as far as this was concerned, it didn't. I was excited because we had Trinity in it, so that was kind of like the bait, I guess, that hooked everyone to try to watch it and see what it's about. But I mean, she's gone. And she's dead too, isn't she?
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, oh,
you saw that episode.
Yeah. That's the episode you saw.
That's the episode.
That's how much Trinity we got.
Happy 4th, happy 3rd. Welcome, Hot Dog Paul, to the show here.
Hey.
After Frank was insistent about us not being late today, it's the one day I was late. So you're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, man.
So
anyway,
glad you made it
delay.
safely. Glad you made it safely because it is brutal out there.
I was getting, that was a rough drive over
You're
here.
shaking your fist out the window?
Almost.
You're like, why I oughta?
Yeah. It was not good. It was my fault.
You Sunday driver.
I'm not used to coming from the side of town I was on, and it just made me very late, and I apologize.
What are your thoughts about Acolyte episode 6?
It is fine and continues to be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very fine.
Yeah. There have been a lot
PG+.
worse things, and there have been a lot better things. It's
right.
fine.
It's fine.
Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett. Yes, the newest season of True Detective. Quan disagrees, so I'm wrong.
You are wrong.
I'm objectively wrong about a television show. Good.
Ahsoka. Cool. I don't think it's worse.
I don't think it's worse either. I was just arguing with Quan.
Oh.
I do think Book of Boba Fett is worse, and I think Ahsoka is of similar quality. I think there's some stuff in this that annoys people more than in that. That stuff has not annoyed me, so I've enjoyed it more.
Benny.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
That's one thing that there's something that was in Ahsoka that is not in Acolyte.
I have a feeling. I know what you're going to
I'm
say.
very annoyed.
I would
by it.
rather watch the newest episode was episode 6.
Yep.
I would rather watch episode 5 of Ahsoka than any of the episode, or excuse me, episode 5 of Acolyte than any of the episodes of Ahsoka again, or
Really?
any of the episodes of Book of Boba Fett again.
Wait. Can you say that again?
Episode 5, the one with the
yeah.
lightsaber
Sure,
fights and stuff.
It was good.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
episode was better than any of the stuff, in my opinion.
Even
that
the
I saw
Mando
in
stuff?
Ahsoka.
Even Mando stuff in Book of Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
Though,
Boba Fett.
but that's part of the problem with the Book of Boba Fett.
What's wrong with it?
That shouldn't have been 2 episodes about the Mandalorian and the show about
it was
Boba
weird.
Fett. Yeah.
It was weird.
We talk about how poor a job this show has done of building characters up when Book of Boba Fett literally forwent
Yeah, it
the
was
main
like-
character
yeah.
for 2 episodes.
Well, you had Luke.
I digress.
Luke was in it. Doing Luke stuff.
Just a side
Don't you wanna
mission
see
with
Luke?
Mandalorian. Season 2.5.
He was
Mandalorian.
flipping and doing Luke things. He was young.
All right,
So
let's
was
talk about something we
Sorry.
can all get upset and argue about some more.
Let's do it.
The Boys, season 4. We're over the
Yeah.
halfway point. I think episode 6 drops tomorrow.
Mhm.
I've seen the
Yeah.
first 4. You've seen the first 4.
I've seen the first 4. I have not seen episode 5 yet.
Okay. What are you guys thinking about this show so far? Are you enjoying it? Are you not enjoying it?
I thought that they may
Not
have.
violent enough.
I know, right? I thought they may have pointed. I think they may have painted themselves into a corner. Why can't I get that out? Okay.
You'll get there.
Take your time. Take your time.
I thought they painted themselves into a corner kind of last season. I was like, well, how are they going to continue to do this show and keep it kind of fresh? You had the same, you had fun, you had all this type of stuff. They pretty much found a way to do that. I just think it's really entertaining. It's really well written.
It's well written.
Boy, I got a problem. Am I okay? I think something's wrong with
It's
me. I
the
don't mess
heat,
up
bro.
this
It's
much.
It's the
111 out there.
heat, and you're
I
used
haven't
to
even started.
and it's
on
truly
this
it's the
yet.
heat, and you're used to
Truly.
talking on Thursdays. So I mean,
know,
we got
maybe
you out of
it's-
your
yeah,
rhythm.
maybe-
Sorry,
Maybe, yeah. I need to I'll come back tomorrow.
you're not a big Wednesday talker.
No, not really. No. Usually just sit in silence till we
Save
get
your
here.
words for Thursday.
Right. Save them all up.
Somebody will come up to Shane at work on Wednesday and they'll try to talk to him.
Nah, no. I have to save my voice for the Thursday show.
Marcus, where are you at with the boys? Season 4.
I haven't really started that one yet. But
It's great, though.
is it?
Marcus. Yeah, it is good.
it's one of those that I admire them taking on this show because it never ceases to amaze me how they are able to. I don't want to say get away with it because the comic, for those who haven't read the comic is way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
way
it's
worse.
bad.
It's
yeah.
bad. Like you really need
Not saying a lot because this show is nuts.
It's nuts.
This Amazon show they put together.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
So I commend them for keeping it going as well as they have. And it's ending, right? It's going to be one more season.
One more season
A
after
couple
this.
days before season 4 premiered, the showrunner is Eric Kripke. Is that his name? He said that it's ending with season 5.
Okay. So I think that's what. So painting them, when you were saying they were painting themselves into a corner,
Right.
that might be planned because they only have one season. Maybe they're going to do something. We'll see. But
Well, that was the thing. I thought that I go if they just keep going on and on and on, like where is this going to end up? I was just hoping that they would announce something like this just so you can get a feel of them moving the story along, like because they kind of needed to move the story along was the biggest problem with last season. You're just feeling that you think some characters are dead and they're not.
yeah,
And
there's just a bunch of shenanigans.
There's shenanigans going on. You're like I thought, Lady Maeve was dead, but she wasn't. She's alive. She hasn't shown up this season, but everything else is pretty much on point as far as the writing is concerned, as far as their villains are concerned, the people that you're not supposed to like, you hate them, and the people you're supposed to like, you like them still. Everything is really working and firing on all cylinders in this season, I think so. And hopefully when it comes to next season, they'll be able to wrap it up like really nice.
Right.
Because they've done some pretty wild things. Like every episode has something wild happen on it, Marcus.
Yes.
Where you just go, oh my good Lord, like who would think of this?
You're like looking behind
Frank.
you.
Like who? I'm not kidding. Like, Marcus. Yeah, where you just go, who thought to do this? Like it's you have to please watch it.
Oh
Marcus,
yeah,
please.
that is definitely one.
Just, if for nothing else, for that, like to see what
absolutely.
they do in every episode,
This
like
is
what
the
wacky
Pitch Marcus a TV show.
like seriously, like if he hasn't seen any of them, like this is the reason to watch it, just for the wacky things that they do. But but it's great. I think it's great.
Paul?
Great.
I agree with Shane. I think it's very good. I'm really happy that it's going to end with the 5th season, not because I want it to end, but because I know that the story is going to. Did you know that the other show that Eric Kripke worked on, Supernatural, was supposed to end with season 5, and it just kept going and going and going and going and going.
Yeah.
What did
And
it end up on? Like
13 seasons or something
Can't
like that.
believe it.
But so I'm glad.
It was CW.
Point being,
right? It was a CW
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And that was Oh, his name escapes me as I go to see
I
it.
know the
Soldier
dude who
Boy.
plays Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy,
Jensen Ackles,
Jensen
and
Ackles, and the other guy.
And see, that's eventually
Millie Bobby Brown.
they're going to have to diverge from the source material if they keep going. So that's why it's nice to have a good definite.
If we're
bookend.
being honest, I feel like they already. I
done
like the
that.
show more than the comic, honestly.
Okay.
I think they already have diverged pretty heavily from the comic.
Quite a bit.
It's not going to end the same way. It already will not because of. Did you watch the last season?
Mhm.
Okay, so because of what happened to Black Noir
Right.
and who's filled in for Black Noir now, it's not going to be the ending of the show.
Right.
Or
That's funny,
so
by the way.
Yeah,
The dude who plays Black,
he's like
Black Noir
super
now,
into
it's
the role or
hilarious.
whatever. He's so funny.
It's so funny.
When they beat the crap out of those dudes in the first episode, and he's like, "That was horrible."
he goes,
I
"What's
was
my
afraid he was going to kill
What
me
is
if
my
I didn't do it.
motivation? Yeah.
So
What's my motivation for being Black Noir?"
yeah,
I think he wouldn't. They go, for whether he doesn't talk as much as you do, he just keeps talking. Like Black Noir
Yeah.
does not talk. Like he's supposed to be just a brain dead figure in the background that kills people. Like this guy keeps talking. It's very funny.
Yeah, he's the clone, a clone of Homelander in the comics, and you find out that the vast majority of the horrible things Homelander has done were actually him,
Yeah.
and because he was put in place as a kind of contingency plan if Homelander went crazy to kill him. But Black Noir went crazy. He was like, I want to kill him so I can take his place. So he started making it seem like Homelander did a bunch of stuff to kill him.
He framed him.
That's very clearly not the direction the show is going.
No.
And I kind of like that more. It seems like it's going to be more of a Butcher Homelander thing because at the end, like, it takes a lot of the interest of the character Homelander away and just his rivalry with Butcher at the end of the comic when it's like, oh, actually, it wasn't him the whole time. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
What was the
right.
point
It's
of
a
it
little
all?
weird, yeah.
And I think the show will play very poorly if they try to do something like that. And I don't think they will. But it's been very good. I think I liked the last season a little bit more to this point. I think I liked the character of Soldier Boy and I thought he was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But I do still like this. And there was something recently that happened with like a Twitch streamer where he got in trouble for messaging a minor. And a bunch of people came out on, there's a point to this, I promise. A bunch of people came out on Twitter and defended him. And it was like, why are you defending this guy?
Oh, wow.
And then a bunch of people who had been watching The Boys, they were like, I felt like it was a little unbelievable, all the followers that Firecracker had because of what all the things she's done. And I was like, that would never happen in real life. And then it literally happened in real life like a week later. So the writers do a really good job of kind of
our
staying
imitating
topical.
life.
Oh yeah,
staying
because she kind of
topical.
like defends herself, like she's trying to spin it.
like The Simpsons.
Yeah,
it's very well. Simpsons back in the day. Now they
Right.
talk about nonsense now. But anywho, I digress.
It's very Simpson. I mean, that's a great. It's very
It's-
Simpsons-esque in the way that it kind of
Foretells.
foretells things that have happened or are going to happen.
Right.
You mentioned Firecracker.
It's amazing.
What about her character and that of Sister Sage?
She's awesome too.
I like Sister Sage, John.
That is an awesome character. The smartest.
Self-lobotomizing.
Oh, Marcus, you have to watch this show.
Pretty crazy.
And I like.
Marcus would cringe right now if he knew the scene we were talking about, the lobotomy scene.
Dude.
The show has been very good, and it plays the like.
What would you do? What did Marcus do to Milkshake that time?
Shook him.
Shook him
You shook him.
relentlessly.
I'd be getting shook right now if Marcus knew about the lobotomy scene.
Yeah. Like a milkshake.
I'm sending it to you.
Like
You'd be
a
getting milkshaked.
Yeah,
I want to at least send you that part so you can look at it.
just watch the show.
Go ahead, Paul.
I'm sorry, go
I
ahead,
like the
Paul.
way she's introduced to the way
Yeah.
Homelander's kind of like.
Okay.
I thought I wanted like complete and total control over everything, but now everyone acts like a complete and total idiot
He's
and is
surrounded-
just
he's
afraid
surrounded
of
by
me.
yes men.
He's like Eddie Murphy in the '90s. He's just surrounded by
Yeah.
yes men, and now he
she gives it
he
like a
hates it.
little pushback. She's like, "Well, I'm smarter than you. How are
Yeah.
you gonna like it when I'm disagreeing with you?
Yeah, you
you're
can't.
being disagreed with by a black woman. How are you going to accept
take it,
that?"
yeah.
And whatever he goes, and he's kind of say it kind of not at like full volume, but he says like, "Well, I'm a smart guy." He's like trying to like,
Yeah, I'm a smart guy.
I'm smart.
Yeah. And I also like that the reason their like relationship works is because at the beginning she's like, or he's, what is it exactly she says? She's like, just kill me. I don't care.
Right.
Like, you want me to do this with you or you want whatever. Like, I don't care if you kill me. So you have no power over me. You kill me. Thank you. I don't care.
She's not a big fan of being the smartest woman in the world.
She's not a big fan of being alive.
Being
really.
alive.
No.
So she's like,
depressed.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Kill me? Thanks.
Right.
And I
He's
think
just like,
he kind of
I like this chick. Like,
respects that in a weird way, and he's like appreciative of the whole her existence.
that's the thing. If you stand up to a Homelander in this show, like he does respect you more, and he will listen to you if you just somehow get a spine and stand up to him and kind of be yourself around him. That's when he kind of loosens up with you, and he'll
It
keep you
happens
alive.
with their publicist, the redhead.
Right.
Ashley.
Ashley.
When he's dealing with her, she loses her mind and has like all these meltdowns or whatever.
Right.
He's like, all right,
Relax.
whatever.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great, but he hates the deep. He like
Dude.
can't
He's an
He
idiot.
doesn't like the deep.
Yeah, he hates everybody else. He thinks everybody's a moron.
You know what's one thing about the first episode in particular that maybe I'm misremembering something or there's something stopping him from doing it that I don't really remember. Why didn't Homelander just kill Butcher in the kitchen in the beginning of the first episode? Like, why is he not just killing Butcher?
I think it's because of
His cancer.
his cancer. He just thinks that he's gonna,
that's
he's
what.
gonna die.
Okay, yeah, he's like,
He's
you're gonna
gonna
die anyways.
see-
But
he can see like the X-ray vision. He can see. He's like,
that's
oh,
part of the
I know
reason I'm
you're-
glad it's wrapping up with season 5 because it's getting to the point like it's like, okay, you're like really stretching my suspension of disbelief thin as to why one of these two hasn't killed the other one yet.
Kind of like Batman and Joker.
Sure. Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
comparison. Like, it's
Yeah,
like,
like-
what are we doing here? Like,
Yeah.
we're spinning our
This
wheels at
dance
this
is
point.
going on too long.
So I'm glad that this season's going to kind of do whatever it does with that story, and then the
Right.
next one will wrap
Sit
it
out.
up. I
Right.
think
Hopefully.
we're going to speculate that both of those characters are going to die
This
by
is-
the end of
think.
no.
By the end of the
By
show.
the
By
end
the
of the
show. But then Homelander's son. I mean, because this whole thing is for Homelander's son and how Homelander. That's the whole thing with Sister Sage. Homelander wants to leave a legacy for his son. Like he wants his son to be even greater than himself, Homelander, but he can't get out of the spotlight long enough.
That
he just
kid, I can't remember his name, but the kid that plays Ryan was
Yeah.
fantastic. He had a really good scene with Butcher.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just, it's emotional.
Yeah, it's
Like,
great.
they're,
You know what?
They're back and forth.
I
man.
didn't notice that kid was recast from season 1 to season 2. It's a different kid.
It's a totally
Oh,
different
really?
kid.
At the end
Oh.
of season 1, I think you see the kid, and then season 2 starts up, and it's not like
I just thought he was
time jump or
older.
anything.
Yeah.
No, it's a completely different kid in
Wow.
the first season of the show. And I think that ended up working out probably.
Okay.
Tim was in the chat. He wanted to see what you guys thought about Anthony Starr being cast as the Joker, potentially.
I think that in the DCU, that would be cool. Barry Keoghan's already going to be the Joker in Matt Reeves' movies.
Yeah.
He was at the end of the last one.
hope they fix the
Yeah, but
face
Anthony
thing.
Starr would be great.
It looks like they're going to roll with the kind of new 52 face peeled off look, which I don't hate.
That's
Right.
fine. His
You know.
face looks swollen like he's a bee stain.
Yeah. But I would like Anthony Starr. I think that would be great. I don't know if that's
It'd
what
be
he
cool.
wants
Can
to
he?
do.
Yeah, can he? He's so great as
Or you just say, can he be a maniac?
I'm
Yeah,
just saying. I mean, can he? But he's so great at just being a snarky, like, like a I'm better than you superhero, or
He can
better.
crack wise.
Yeah, he cracks
With the best of them.
wise.
He's got
but
good
can
snark.
he be crazy?
He's got good
Like,
snark.
well, I guess he could be crazy.
Would he
He's
be a
also
good
nutty.
Two-Face?
He could be a great Two-Face.
I heard they might have cast Boyd Holbrook to play Two-Face.
I like that.
Oh,
Boyd Holbrook.
yeah.
I like Boyd Holbrook as Two-Face more than I like Anthony Starr. I think
What
Anthony
could he
Starr,
be? Yeah, what can you?
something that he has, like Shane is saying, an opportunity to be charismatic, which I think there could be a spin on the Joker that would be that.
That would be nice.
But yeah, I feel like Homelander weirdly has more humanity in him than the Joker. I know that sounds insane, but there are moments or things that Homelander does where you're like, you're out of your mind, but I get it.
Right.
Sure.
That's like all the stuff with his kid.
Right. Right.
There's really not that with the Joker, but that's not to say he couldn't do it. So, but yeah, I like him. He's cool. They wanted him to. They were talking about him maybe being Wolverine, right? A while ago.
Really?
I've heard like 8 different people being rumored to play Wolverine.
Yeah.
And we're
Daniel
gonna get
Radcliffe,
Wolverine
Anthony
variants
Starr,
in the
Shane.
in the movie.
Marcus, Quan,
Danny
What?
DeVito.
Maybe
Danny
DeVito,
Danny
yeah.
DeVito's gonna be Wolverine
Hugh Jackman.
My vote is.
for Danny DeVito.
But apparently, Hugh Jackman has been revitalized by playing his role as Wolverine again. So
He's how old is he? Is he 60?
Close.
Like 60 years old.
He's near 60.
He's close.
Yeah.
Oh, bruh.
Yeah,
he
he's
said
old.
something in an interview recently about when he initially auditioned for Wolverine. Kevin Feige,
No, he's 55.
back in the day, they went to
Ew.
lunch together, and like Kevin Feige helped him like stay in the running for the character. Like he was gonna back out because he thought he bombed the interview, and he went out to lunch with Feige. This is back in like 1999,
Oh,
and Feige was like, "I think you should not go anywhere. Like
Right.
stay,
yeah.
keep trying to get the role." I may be misquoting his like little story, but it was something like that. Like
Oh, Feige was a producer or something on the.
Feige's produced the X-Men
On the
movies,
X-Men
the
movies, right?
Spider-Man
Yeah.
movies. He was involved far before the MCU.
right.
I mean, but
I think he's even in the Daredevil, like the Matt
It might be.
Ben Affleck. I think he's in the credits. Of
Yeah, he's
he goes back that far.
mhm.
Did everybody think that Jackman was just too tall?
no one cared at the time.
No, I don't think.
No. That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
I don't know if they're
that.
thinking about it. The purists are gonna be like
Yeah,
watching it. They're going,
man.
Well,
"No, he's too
He's
tall."
like
Well,
6'9".
we saw we saw a teaser of Sabretooth.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, so it would have to be scaled so that it looks like Sabretooth is
It's
taller than
huge,
him.
yeah, taller.
huge. So
That guy's a
so
big
when we
guy,
get-
though, isn't
Yeah.
he?
I mean, he looks a lot
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
bigger than him in the first X-Men too. Like when they
Right.
have that little fight in the snow. It's a
Mhm.
great scene, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I don't. And again, like, what are they going to cast an actor who's 5'2"?
No.
How many
I'm just
actors are
saying.
5'2" other than Danny DeVito and Kevin Hart?
I think Daniel Radcliffe is a short
Prince.
guy too.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's
they could
like-
have Radcliffe
but-
do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Back in
He-
the day, Prince should have.
1980s version of Wolverine. Didn't Michael Jackson like want to play Spider-Man?
Probably,
I'm like pretty sure Michael Jackson like really wanted to play Spider-Man.
dude. Probably.
That would have been great.
Sneak.
Snick.
What you do, Bob? Oh, come at me. Come at me.
This is worse than the Acolyte.
Well, the tie.
A weird Wolverine and Prince.
Shane, it's about that time. What time is it right now?
Oh, well, let me check my watch. Check. No, it's not time for that. Yeah, get down and get my oil change. I gotta do that tomorrow.
Watch that.
Oh,
I did that
Yeah, watch
it
yesterday.
says right here. Oh yeah, it's time for Cover Drive.
Yeah. Oh. For cup of drop, baby. Oh. Sneak.
All right.
Sneak.
All right, we're gonna judge comics here.
Oh wow.
I hope you brought
that
your
sounded
best
like it.
stuff. It's before
That
the
was
4th of
amazing.
July, so you better not let me down. I'm serious, Paul.
Didn't you pick my book last week?
I think I did.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I did.
You
Good
yeah.
stuff. Good stuff.
All
Good
right,
job.
Marcus, you're first.
All right.
He tells me I'll be picking Marcus's book.
Right. All right. So my first pick for this week, it actually came out last week, I believe, actually. But I was just so
Ooh.
caught up with the Amy Chu's book, Carmilla, that I wanted to make sure
It's a good book.
I covered that one.
How
beautiful.
dare
But-
you do a
but-
book a week late?
But
I would
man,
never.
right? Right? Oh
Somebody's
man.
trying to get in the lead here.
Especially on Wednesday when you're fighting traffic trying to get your new books. Yeah, the struggle's real,
True.
everybody.
Very true.
But back with Distillery again. The second issue of Spectrograph came out by James Tynan IV, Christian Ward, and yeah, just so it picks up the pace. We get a little more into detail about what's going on with this real estate situation. So just to recap real quick, the first issue, you have a real estate agent going to show this swanky house on the coast of Malibu to a potential client. But she actually leaves her crying baby in the high chair at home, thinking that she's going to be right back. And she ends up getting basically trapped in this house. Turns out that this house has a lot of dealings with it has some ties with the occult, and
Oh, boy.
a very eccentric millionaire guy who built this house. And essentially, what you have is these occultists are trying to unlock the keys, so to speak, of this house, and essentially, this book is detailing what this house. It's basically like a giant camera lens. There's a machine in this house that's built and designed to basically turn you into one with the house. So if you want to die, if you want to become no longer want to be one of the flesh, and you want to become, immortal, you can become one with this house, essentially, by basically standing in front of this big machine, which looks like a huge camera lens.
Who wrote this book? I mean,
James Tynion.
This book?
Same guy who did Nice House on the Lake. Who did
Something's Killing the Children.
Something's Killing the Children.
Okay.
So yeah. It's pretty out there, and I think that's why I like it so much, because it's different. It's super different.
Yeah.
And so this machine, which is in this house, which is integrated into this house, you're supposed to be able to become one with the house by standing in front of this machine, and it flashes you just like a big, huge camera. And it turns you into just basically one with the house. Your flesh just melts away, and you become immortal, living as part of this house. And so the client that we're following, the real estate agent, to see this house, to show this house to, she knows of what this house is supposed to, the secrets this house is supposed to unlock. And so she, kind of goes along while some of these occultist, mysterious people are kind of waiting on the outside, waiting for her to manage, to kind of give the word, if you will, that she's able to do this. So she's kind of like the guinea pig for this group to see if it actually works. And so now both the real estate agent who left her baby and this teenager are locked in this house. It looks like there's some apparitions that have already kind of gone through the process. So they're getting chased around the house by these, flesh and bones. Some are like skin demons, some are like muscle, and it's just really, it's really
amazing.
Weird. Yeah.
Plus the cover, since you described it, the cover really, it shows you what's at my Lord.
Yeah, I hope I explained it in a way that did it justice, but it's very interesting. And then
this is a wild cover, man.
Right, and throughout that you have like flashbacks, page by page, kind of showing you the events leading up to where they are at in the present and how they come to be where they are. And you find out that this teenager kind of not sacrificed, but she volunteered to do this because she really doesn't want to live anymore. She wants to be immortal, and so she thinks she can be immortal by, if this sort of experiment happens, she could be immortal by living in this house. And then the second one, issue 10 of Void Rivals. Oh my goodness, we're starting to get a little more explanation on the origin of the two rival factions within Void Rivals, as well as we meet an Autobot, essentially, who is also stranded in this planet. And we get to learn a little bit more about the Energon and what that is. It's a fuel that's used by the Autobots and anyone from Cybertron, that as their fuel, that's their life force, if you will. And also, we come to discover that it also can have healing and rejuvenating factors for the factions that are currently at odds with each other in Void Rivals, and that they actually are half Cybertronian in origin, if that makes sense. So it's actually, this issue is actually starting to explain a little bit and tie in where the Transformers actually fit with the rest of the Energon universe, and connecting and giving you more connection between Void Rivals, the Energon universe. The only thing, it's not really touching on G.I. Joe just yet. I'm assuming that's probably going to happen. For those who have not read the latest issue of Transformers, we're already starting to get some ties together between Earth and why the Autobots and the Decepticons are on Earth. And we're seeing a picture being painted of basically the Cybertronians being roving nomads. The war between the Autobots and the Decepticons has used up all their resources on their home planet. So they're roaming, trying to find resources. And Earth is appearing to be a very rich, resourceful place for them. And so now we have the fight kind of coming to Earth, for the resources competing together, while the Transformer that's in Void Rivals, he's kind of like, he got lost. So he's kind of stranded. So he's kind of surviving kind of on his own. He built his own lab on this planet where these other two within the Void Rivals universe are also stranded. So now we're going to see some connection, and it's getting fleshed out very well. Robert Kirkman, he's very strategic and tactical. He knows how to sell comics. So it's issue 10, and now we're starting to get a little more, explanation as to what's going on. Much like Firepower, it takes he likes to give you just a little bit each issue, so you keep buying them.
Beautiful.
So, very cool.
Nice. Very, very nice. Liking that. Liking both of those. Paul, what you got?
All right, I got previewed it last week a little bit with Absolute Power Ground Zero, and now the Absolute Power event has finally started for DC. I had 2 of the books on my poll this week. I think there may have only been 2 that came out. There might have been a Green Arrow or Green Lantern tie-in, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But definitely the Batman Absolute Power tie-in.
Looks great.
Which is written by Chip Zdarsky with art by Jorge Jimenez, as well as a few other creatives on the book, like Cowan, Mike Hawthorne, Morey, and Farhado on colors. And I will say this is definitely non-essential to the event, at least after I read the first one and read this. Story. It's kind of some tangential stories. The first one about this person who kind of thinks they know who Bruce Wayne is, and he's trying to sell that information. And one of the people he tries to sell it to is Two-Face, who is like, I know his identity too, but you think if you expose his identity, he's going to just be Bruce Wayne? Right now we have this guy juggling both sides of this coin, if you will. And if you expose that, he's not going to land on the one you want him. It's not going to land on the one that ends in him leaving us alone. It gets worse. A Batman who is only focused on being Batman is not good for us, which is kind of alluding to Failsafe, and really the Batmans R&R who had taken him over, but now I'm pretty sure Failsafe is back to just being Failsafe. And then the next story is kind of about Failsafe, and I would say through the next book I'm about to talk about, which I'll show now, the Absolute Power issue 1 of 4 for the main run of the event. Failsafe, I don't think he's 100% on board with who the main villain of this is, Amanda Waller. I don't think he's really on board with what she's doing, and she's like, I think at some point he will kind of take a Thanos in Annihilation turn where he tries to help out in defeating her or stopping her from what she's doing. But the Absolute Power starts, and first of all, Dan Mora, the best. It's like not even close. And then it starts with these AI-generated kind of face replacement videos going all over these news networks of superheroes attacking and killing and quartering people. And all the superheroes are watching it like, we're not doing this. Like, what is going on? And it's because Amanda Waller has taken the Brainiac Queen from the end of the House of Brainiac story and is using her brain to kind of control the airways and send these images out to people on their TVs and stuff. And now people are attacking the superheroes that they can. And all these superheroes are like, oh, if we like kind of band together and stay in a group and not get singled out, we can't be like overrun by the masses. And that ends up going into Amanda Waller's plan to control them and attack them with these Amazo bots she has created. And it's really cool. Superman gets shot in the beginning. There's been a preview of it and a backup of a bunch of other issues.
Yeah.
Superman gets shot and he's like, oh, whatever. And then he looks down and he's bleeding. And he's like, what is happening?
Right.
And there's little moments like that all through the issue that are really grab you. And I really enjoyed the first issue. Mark Waid's great. And I think it used what went on back with the John Kent run for Tom Taylor, the House of Brainiac, the Failsafe kind of whole run that Chip Zdarsky had going on. And even back to, I was going to say House of Brainiac again, but I already said that. But it's tying it all in really well, and I think he's using all of the threads from that in a way that you can still read this and not have to have been all up in those issues. So I've really enjoyed it. I'm excited to keep reading the main run, and the Task Force, Absolute Power Task Force issues will be coming out, and I'm excited to read those too. But it's basically Amanda Waller is finally proving to the people what she's been trying to prove for a long time, that superheroes are bad for the world and we need to eradicate them so that humans can take back control of Earth. And quite an interesting start with some of the best art from one of the best artists around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dan Moore, world's finest. Dan Moore, Mark Waid.
Yep.
unbelievable.
Sounds like they're still communicating well at DC, so that's good.
Yeah.
Integrating all these stories.
That was really, really detailed, Paul. It's a shame you're not going to win this week. All right.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
The vote has already been.
Wait a minute. I think we have a new contender. He just showed me the oh my goodness. When Superman gets
Anyways.
shot, he shows me.
Dope, right?
Oh boy.
Well, while you're tantalizing
Oh, boy.
Shane, I'll go ahead.
Go ahead there, Frankie.
Marcus
Frank,
had mentioned
and the Funky Bunch.
this latest issue of Transformers is out.
What the?
The big shout out to Jorge Corona, who's
Yeah.
just
a nice
modeling
cover.
his art style after Daniel Warren Johnson. Daniel Warren Johnson was for a while not only doing the shopping but all the cooking as well.
Yeah.
And now he's writing the book, and it's been incredible. He's been nominated already for the Eisner.
Wow.
It's a great series, great start. All the Energon stuff has been great. I mean, you're not going to have anybody here who's not telling you to not read all the Energon stuff. It's all been really solid. Marcus also mentioned the G.I. Joe series will be upcoming. I think that's Williamson and Tom Riley is going to be doing art. That's going to be coming out in November. I think they're going to have the new ongoing G.I. Joe series. I brought these two books specifically. I want to take a Blood Hunt break because I've been doing that every week. Don't get mad at me, Brendan.
All good.
This artwork in Transformers is Jorge
Stand
Corona.
by.
It's so funny that because
Let me see.
This
until you mentioned
artwork
it,
is
I'm like,
Jorge Corona.
yeah,
Wow. Okay.
looks like
Let me see.
Daniel
This
Warren Johnson.
artwork this is issue 2 of Ain't No Grave. Ryder's on a mission to hunt down death itself, and now the tables have turned, and death is looking for Ryder as
kidding
well. This artwork
It's
is also by Jorge Corona.
right.
And it's just a contrast in
the-
styles. There's something about the Western and the grittiness of the Western.
Yeah.
And with these other elements, there's sort of like a supernatural, kind of like Unforgiven vibes, kind of like
Right.
woven into this.
Great movie.
It is really good, really cool storytelling. I think for all the incredible artwork that Scotty Young has done over the years, a lot of guys know that he does like a lot of the variants that are like cartoonish variant
The
covers
baby
that he
covers.
does to a lot of the baby style covers that he does for a lot of Marvel books over the years and a lot of Image books as well. He doesn't get enough credit as a writer, and this is a really well-written story, and he's done over the years, he's done a great job with a lot of the stuff. You ever read Middle West?
Yeah.
And I was trying to think, The Me You Love in the Dark.
The Me You Love in the Dark.
It's
Yeah.
like a haunted
That's a good
story.
book, yeah.
Twig.
Twig. I mean, Scotty Young should be getting more attention, and that's the kind of example I think we should use. And just the fact that Jorge Corona did the artwork for both of those, and the
This is
styles
dope, bro.
are so different
This is so
that
dope.
Jorge Corona kind of commits himself to adapting to Daniel Warren Johnson's style is really cool, and it's a testament to what they've been trying to do. And if you're not reading the Energon stuff, then baby, what is you doing? You need to get on it. You need to be reading Energon stuff. Get it together. Shane's reading my Transformers trade. If you guys need it, we'll bring it in, and you guys can borrow that and check it out as well.
Let's not forget I Hate Fairyland and Strange Academy.
That's right.
He wrote that as well.
We're also going to mention that on the subject of creators and artists, we are going to have, he's a little bit of everything, all kinds of facets. Writer Mark Russell is going to be joining us live on the line next week.
Yep.
And we're also going to have Mark Russell super fan and resident expert Stephen Lolito, local creator, is going to be in studio with us as well. We're going to be talking about all kinds of different projects that he's worked on over the years, stuff like Flintstones, the Snagglepuss Chronicles.
Snagglepuss Chronicles?
Yes,
Second Coming.
Not All Robots.
Not All Robots. Dead Box.
Death Ratioed. got some
Superman
stuff right
Space
here.
Age.
I brought this
One
stuff in
Star
for Shane to
Squadron.
check out so he can do some homework. One
Yeah.
Star Squadron.
Yeah, Batman Dark
this,
Age,
yeah.
which is currently
That's right.
out now.
But we're gonna have him live on the line, and we're gonna pick his brain. And I've got an important question to ask him when they do these rosters. Okay, he's gonna be doing X Factor. He's gonna be writing the new X Factor book.
Yeah.
Right, Paul. When picks the team, is it like fantasy football? Like Gail Simone, does she pick her lineup that she wants?
Right.
And Jed McKay, does he pick his people? And then they go around like they have a draft room?
Yeah,
type of
right.
thing, and like, they're picking their
That would be
lineups, you know.
pretty funny.
So we're gonna ask him that next week. But
I
he's
want to
got
see if he's talked to James Gunn about any input about, because I don't know.
Yeah.
James Gunn's header on Twitter is from Space Age.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I mean, it could happen.
Yeah.
But that's what I got. I mean, I know that was a little all over the place, but I'm excited about this. Yes, sir.
Very good.
Okay.
Everything was great. Frank, you did fine.
Thank you, teacher.
I'm saying this.
Thank you, sir.
Say it.
Spectrograph is our winner this week.
Oh,
just because
right.
this sounds dope.
Yeah,
It sounds ridiculously dope.
Christian Ward is dope too.
I need
Yeah,
to.
his art is
I
incredible.
need to get this. I need to grab this as soon as I can. But second on the docket, ain't no grave
Yeah.
issue. I just saw.
Yeah.
It blew my
Very cool.
mind.
Mhm.
The way he draws mustaches is just unbeatable.
The way-
But then again, a shot Superman is always kind of dope. So
It's definitely very cool.
Yeah, it's
It's
definitely
cool.
atypical. Right?
everybody, listen, everybody wins. It's the day before 4th of July. I mean, how could you?
Hey.
There's no losers here.
All right.
God bless America. That's all I can say.
Yes.
Thanks, Shane.
Cheers.
I mean, truly.
Wow. Truly. As we start to work our way out of here, I'll give you guys a little quick, gonna get your reactions. I'm gonna throw some little comments to you. More Moon Knight, please. Marcus, it seems like we're going to be getting more Moon Knight sooner rather than later. We don't know if we're getting the Midnight Suns first or if we're getting season 2 of Moon Knight first. What would you prefer?
I prefer just going straight to Midnight Suns.
You want to skip the season?
Yeah, don't do a second season of Moon Knight.
All right.
That was the first one was.
You didn't like that Moon Knight ending that much?
Oh yeah. So if we can have the ending like that in the beginning,
Yeah,
of
then we're
season 2, and then
You forget all the stuff in the middle.
And all the stuff in the middle, then we're good. Yeah, because I saw that it was rumored that they were going to do a second season of Moon Knight before they move into Midnight Suns, and I'm like, why? You didn't really do much to set up, with the first season of Moon Knight. So why is it needed?
I would say people weren't that pleased
Yeah.
with how Moon Knight
Cold
went.
French fries.
Yeah, it was
They'll
all right.
fill you up. They'll
Cold
fill you up.
fries.
But are they satisfied?
They weren't satisfied. Exactly.
Shane, it's we have an official release date or streaming date for episode 1 of Agatha All Along.
man.
I'll be there.
September 18th. Sounds like we're
I
getting our
will
first
be there.
trailer or official look at the show in the next week or so. It might be the same week as we head into San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
But are you excited for this? I know you're a WandaVision fan. Are you excited for the show?
I was a huge WandaVision fan,
Yes.
and I'm a huge Han fan.
Okay, Catherine Hahn. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. I was like,
I love Han.
Okay. I thought you meant.
So
Paul, I thought you meant Solo.
all right.
Yes,
Wow.
that's what I thought.
No, that's Han. That's Han. If you're,
Han.
If you're Billy D.
Is it
Williams.
Han.
Hey, Han, how are you?
I loved her in WandaVision, and I love her as an actor all around. So I'm gonna enjoy. I
Good
think I'll
actor.
enjoy this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna give it a shot at least. The same way we all give everything a shot.
Right.
Paul says he's not watching a
I'm
second
gonna
of
watch it so I don't get
Yay!
yelled at.
All right.
Paul.
And finally, we're cheering for Paul, so I'm going to throw this last little side comment to you. Black Panther, Eyes of Wakanda has been rumored to be being worked on right now,
Right.
be coming out early next year. They said it's going to be it's animated series, but it'll be the most
like, what?
connected
Oh, thank
to the
God.
MCU total universe, whatever picture.
Flea Flip.
How excited are you about an animated Wakanda series?
I'm sure it could be really cool. I don't have wasn't sitting here thinking about, oh boy, I really hope they make a Black Panther animated series. But that could be really cool. And I'll definitely watch that over the 300th Spider-Man animated cartoon or something.
It's funny
Or
you
another
say that.
season.
We get
I-
Spider-Man freshman year at the end of the year.
Yeah, I feel like Marvel doesn't. Their animated stuff, whether it's from the MCU or just
Right.
otherwise, is not to the quality that DC's
Yes.
is.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So when DC like kind of develops something, you're like My Adventures of Superman or
Right.
the Cape Crusader or even the Watchmen cartoon that's going to be
Yeah.
coming out in 2 parts. I'm like, that'll probably be pretty cool.
Or even
because
Harley Quinn.
They usually
Yeah.
Harley
Harley
Quinn's
Quinn
great.
show.
They usually do a
Kite Man is gonna be coming.
Oh,
out.
yeah, Kite Man, yeah.
spinning off from that.
Yeah.
They usually do a very good job with their characters in that medium, DC that is,
Yeah.
except for the Killing Joke adaptation. That was
Yeah.
brutal. That was really bad.
I've heard a lot of people who like that My Adventures of Superman series though.
It's good.
I've watched the
It's
first episode
quality.
the other day. Really cool.
Certainly
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
3 or 4, I think. From
You could see
season
the
1.
anime
Oh, season
influence
two.
with the
Yeah,
character
the
design.
look.
It's on.
But-
It's on Max.
Anyways, I think a Black Panther TV series or animated show could be really cool because there's a lot they can do with
Yes.
that. Yeah.
With just Wakanda in general.
Fingers
Just-
crossed.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
They're
untapped.
featuring the different tribes and everything too.
Right. There's a lot of untapped
Focus on surety and
stuff
whatever.
there.
and make it a little more surreal than maybe the movies can because it is live action and this is animation. So
Yeah,
Maybe
more
they-
creative freedom.
Yeah, maybe they
also-
could flesh out. Maybe they could flesh out Riri a little bit better too.
Maybe.
I
But
don't know.
if the animation, like the animation's got to be on point, stay away from this kind of computer generated what if style. Like that's the
Yeah.
only thing I
Yeah,
didn't
that
like
was
about
kinda-
what if
yeah.
is their style.
It's the audio sync.
very
Yeah, I mean,
flat.
it's
Like-
just
it's
it
like
just
the voices are
Yeah.
off.
looks
and the
odd.
mouse-
odd.
And it's hard to go from watching something like Rick and Morty, where the animation and like the way they speak is like really well articulated in that
Mhm.
show, to
Right.
watching something like that where it looks like they're just opening and closing their mouth and
Yeah.
words are coming
Right.
out.
Yeah.
It's good. Anyways,
I know you're gonna eat a bunch of hot dogs tomorrow. What do you got for the people, Marcus?
Just everyone have a happy, safe Independence Day, July 4th. If you're off, be safe out there. Stay hydrated, definitely. And I'm talking like hydration, not of the alcohol sort, because more fluids, because it's 115 degrees out there tomorrow. So yeah, just be safe. Have an enjoyable holiday. Be safe. If you haven't already, get down to your local comic book store. I think most of them are going to be open, although some may be closing early tomorrow. I know Alternate, I believe, will be closing at 4 tomorrow. So just get out there early, beat the heat, get your comics before you start your holiday. And because you're going to be up all night anyway, because all the fireworks are going to be going off till 2 a.m.
sure. Yeah.
So that's the only drag about the 4th of July day usually. But just have a safe and happy holiday.
Old man Marcus needs to sleep. He's
Yeah,
like,
I gotta sleep.
cut that out, you kids.
Yeah, that's right.
Shane, what about you?
Oh, thank you, Marcus, for that PSA, because there's a great chance I'm going to be hammered all day tomorrow. Happy 4th.
There's a great
Keep
chance.
some
Who would've
Gatorade with
guessed?
you. Yeah, get some sports
Not
drink
me.
mix with
In
you or
honor of the
something.
4th, or just in honor of just okay?
It's the 4th?
Yeah.
No, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time.
All right.
Safe and sane fireworks, everybody.
Oh.
Don't shoot anything off in the air. Whatever you do.
Yeah. Like guns.
Definitely don't do that. That's a good way to get arrested.
Paul, how could they get at us in the interwebs safely and sanely?
Thank
They
you, Paul.
can safely and sanely get at us on the interwebs at Into the West Comics on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Pods, YouTube, TikTok, and then at Into_Comics on Twitter. And I'm like so excited for next week's show. Like that's gonna be really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's
to
gonna be
sit
fun.
down and
Yeah,
talk
that'll
to
be
him.
fun.
Yeah.
Excited to talk to
I'll
him,
read
pick
these
his brain. and-
immediately.
I mean, there's a lot
Also-
of stuff. Yes, sir.
In the next month or two, there's going to be a very important issue of the Incredible Hulk coming out.
Oh.
I think I've got the date,
Okay.
so we might want to reach out.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk to him and
Yep.
stand by. But it's really cool.
Stand by.
Very cool.
Stand by.
Yep.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with us on this special 4th of July Eve.
You all
Happy
right?
Homelander Day. Happy 4th.
Yeah.
Don't blow your fingers off tomorrow. Eat a lot, drink a lot, yell a lot at family and friends.
I
Make
will.
sure the dog's got its earmuffs.
Oh,
And just have a great time tomorrow, guys. But for right now,
Shout out Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith.
shout out Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith.
Independence
what-
Day?
And it's taco time in America.
You better believe it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You never seen Independence Day?
Let me leave it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This guy's not a. Well, come on.
Sorry, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't. I wasn't.
4th of July.
Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it.
July. Love y'all. Sneak, 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 sneak.